Welcome to Hey Therapist. I'm your host, Leslie Ross. With me is my producer, Jay Wesley Lindley. Let's get mental. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome. Here we are.
We're going to continue that episode from last week. So if you didn't listen to last week's episode, go listen. However, as random as we are, you can probably just continue on with this one and not miss a beat. So let's go.
Let's go with Leslie and Riley.
Let's talk about anxious attachment style.
Ooh.
We're going to do it.
This is my favorite one to talk
Jump
about.
on in. Those who are anxiously attached, I mean, it's really right there in the title. They have that need for constant reassurance. Lots of feelings of insecurity, usually feel unworthy of love, just don't believe that someone could love them. You may hear statements like, "You're too good for me. I'm not worthy of this. You didn't need to do that for me. I'm not worth that." All of those things. And it's very self-doubting. Like they truly do not feel like they are good enough to be loved, or they always feel like the other shoe is going to drop. So even if they may think, no, I am lovable. I am a good person. I have all these things. When something goes wrong, it's, well, why? What did I do? What did I do? What about me? What about, it's never looking outwardly. It's always taking things personal. And it does come from a lot of times inconsistent caregiving, early deaths. They learn to expect that people are not going to be there for them, and that the people that have given them love may not show up all the time. And it creates a lot of confusion. Can't understand the inconsistency. So a lot of times you do see anxious people with avoidant people, because an anxious person is used to that inconsistency. They're used to someone coming in and going out, coming in and going out. And they're like, oh, wait. And then they come back and I go, oh, they're back. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, don't go. What did I do? Let me fix it. And then they come back. So you do see a lot of unhealthy attachment styles attached to each other. And some of that's just human nature, because none of us really grow up healthily attached, and we put that on our partners. So it does create a lot of confusion, no learned emotional stability. So they are really, really fearful, and they are used to foundations being unstable. So they're used to having that instability in a relationship. They're used to people not always expressing love, or always trying to be performative to get the love. Am I good enough? Did I do good enough? If I'm not good enough, they won't love me. All of those things come in, and they're going to blame themselves for all the problems in their relationship. Even if it's not true, they are going to blame themselves for all of the problems. One of the other traits that you see in an anxiously attached person is jealousy. Jealousy is very rampant in the anxiously attached because of unreliable attachments in the past and very poor self-esteem. Sometimes it becomes a self-created issue. If you are with someone who is not securely attached and not willing to work with you to heal your attachment, it's if I'm going to get blamed for it, I'm going to go do it. So if you do have this anxiously attached person who's super jealous and questioning someone's every move, and who are you talking to? What are you doing? Going through the phones and doing all the things and accusing the person all the time when they don't hear, like, well, I didn't hear from you. What were you doing? Mm-hmm. I was taking a shit. Yeah. I was at work. I answered you as soon as I could. Yeah. All of that pressure that someone puts on someone, they may go act out. Because if I'm going to be accused of it, I'm going to go do it anyway. I've heard that so many times in therapy sessions with partners who have struggled with infidelity, or even just drinking or some other thing that they've agreed not to do, but they're always getting accused of it. Mm-hmm. Well, if I'm going to take the brunt of it, I'm going to go do it, which is also not healthy behaviors. But when you get to that point, you react sometimes not in a healthy way. So they are going to go and just be like, screw it. I'm going to go out and do what I'm going to do then. You want to accuse me of being at the bar all night? I'm going to go be at the bar all night. Yeah. You'll know where I am, because that's where I am. Yeah. You were at the bar all night. Sure was. And then that's a whole other fight. Mm-hmm. Well, you told me you wouldn't do that. Well, you tell me all the time I'm doing it. The root of it all is abandonment. It's about rejection. It's about being alone. But they're sometimes creating that and pushing away a person who may be securely attached, but can't handle the not changing. Listen, I need you to just trust me. Here's my location to make you feel better. Well, why did you take that way home? For fuck's sake. Mm-hmm. Like, because I've heard that too from people. Like, well, why did he go that way?
Yeah.
Well, did they make any stops or anything? No. So they went around traffic? Like what? I don't understand why you're upset about this, but I've had these conversations with people because they're so anxious attached.
Yeah.
It's like, my goodness, you're going to give yourself a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like you were going to get yourself so wound up over truly nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're so afraid, it does go to you have to work on yourself in this, because let's say you are with a securely attached person and you're anxious. They're not going to do anything to hurt you.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you their move. They're going to give you their location. You can go through their phones, whatever. But if you're looking for something, you're going to find it. Why did you stop there? Because I needed gas? Because I wanted a drink?
Mm-hmm.
And to be questioned all the time when you're truly not doing anything is exhausting.
What's a slap in the face?
It really is.
I mean, it's the highest form of disrespect to a secure person. And no one views it that way.
No, they do not.
I'm like, you're being extremely disrespectful. And what the anxious person is seeing is, well, I'm doing this because of so-and-so and so-and-so in my past. So I don't know if I can believe you. And the secure person is sitting there going, but I've given you access to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know everything about me, every move. And at this point, like, it is very disrespectful.
You're operating out of the theory of, well, I want to make them happy. I need to make them happy. I need to do whatever it is to make them happy.
And you don't need to make a secure person happy.
You don't need to make anybody happy.
No, but for sure not that person.
But for sure not a secure person.
No.
And anyone else, you're not going to make happy. They're either happy or they're not. They're either happy with you or they're not. They're either happy in life or they're not. You're not going to do any. You can increase their happiness.
Well, and do you not feel like happiness, just saying that, just happiness in general is just subjective?
It really is.
Like, it's just, I'm just like, it's just so subjective. And I'm like, why do you say that? Like, recently someone, are you okay? Is everything? I'm actually wonderful. Well, you just don't seem as bubbly as you normally are. No, this is me.
Yeah.
This is me.
Do I have days that
I'm not putting on a show is the reason why. I'm like, my performative ways are gone, which performative comes from anxious attachment style.
Absolutely.
So I don't perform anymore, anywhere, for family, for friends, for clients, for any of it. And the secureness of myself has been misread because a lot of people don't know what secure looks like. They start getting anxious. The anxious attachment around the secure person that is very secure starts getting very, well, they must be mad. They must be in a bad mood. They must not be having a good day.
They're mad at me.
No, we're fine.
Yeah.
We just know exactly who we are, and we don't settle for less. Don't need you. We don't need you. We want you in our space. That's enough. That should be enough. For a secure person is enough. Like, I don't have to perform for you. I don't need to turn tricks. I don't need to throw glitter. I don't. So if that makes you uncomfortable, I'm sorry. But I also am not sorry.
Right.
Work on yourself. I'm not here to entertain you.
And when you can operate out of that neutrality, that's really what you're looking for. And, an anxiously attached person is, you make me happy. I want to make you happy, blah, 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 blah. Someone can make me happier. Like, I'm pretty happy in life. There's a lot of shit going on, but I'm pretty happy in life generally. I'm pretty happy even now with all the things going on. I'm a pretty happy person.
Yeah.
Now, can someone make me happier? Sure.
Yeah.
Can they bring happiness to me? Absolutely. If they go away, would I be sad? Probably for a little while, but I'm still going to be happy because I'm happy in life and I'm happy in a neutral place. But that anxious person is going to be, their happiness is based on someone else's happiness. Their happiness is based on how pleased somebody else with them. And it's really unhealthy for your happiness to depend on someone else. And other thing about anxious people and anxiously attached people, most of the time you grew up in a world where you did have to perform, where you did have to know how somebody was going to react. So anxiously attached people and anxious people in general are most of the time actually really good at reading people. They have the ability to read the room. They notice every little mood shift, every inflection in your voice. They notice when patterns change, and it's because they had to. And it was a survival mechanism, because whatever was going on in your life that made you an anxious person taught you to be very aware of other people's cues. So you do become that shapeshifter. You do become what other people need you to be instead of who you genuinely want to be.
And sometimes, though, that part of the traits is not a bad thing to inhibit as a person, but if you make it dependent of who you are every day and you becoming this shapeshifter, that's where it becomes an issue, because there are a lot of us that can read a room very well. Like, I can still read a room very well. Like, it's just a lot of it comes from my job. The difference now is I don't manipulate a room based on me being able to read that room. I know my place in the room. I stand strong in who I am, and I don't shapeshift to that room, but I just know my surroundings. So that is such a trait that is a good trait to hang on to, but you learn how to inhibit that and hold on to that in the right form, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's spot on. You learn how to manipulate a situation. You learn what emotional tantrum you need to throw. Do I need to obsessively call them? Do I need to obsessively text so I can get a reaction? Do I need to withdraw and make them chase me? Do I need to perform? Do I need to be emotional and tearful and threaten to leave and do all these things? You can become very manipulative real quick in an anxious attachment because you are able to read people and you know what's working and what's not. You see the shift. You're like, oh, I got them now.
Yeah.
Like I can manipulate this. I can make them love me. I can make them want me. I'm doing good. They see me now. And it's really a dangerous thing.
It makes you an incredible salesperson. I was in the salon just literally this last week, and we were talking to a client. JC and I were talking, and we were talking about our signs as like horoscope signs and things like that. And I have a very interesting combo in my sun, moon, and rising. A part of me being an anxious attachment person, me also inhibiting, because I do believe that our horoscopes and our signs do line up with sometimes the way that we are able to perform as a person too. And you can like lead strong into those. And she asked me, she said, what do you feel like having that ability has done for you? And I said, I can manipulate every room. And I knew I've learned how to do it. And not just from the signs, but because I know for a fact that I was an anxious attachment style and I could read people a mile away. It's become very powerful. So as we're sitting there, we're talking about a situation, and before it's all said and done, I completely changed her mindset. And she says, well, how do you know that you can do it? And I said, I just did. I just did it to you. And she goes, oh my God, you know how to do this. I said, I'm telling you right now, I know how to manipulate. I said, I just built your character up and made you feel so good about yourself, about this situation, that you were ready to go and do exactly what I told you to do, and you were refusing to do it before, right? And she said, yes. I said, that's the power of manipulation.
Absolutely.
And I said, you know what's so bad? She's a therapist, and I manipulated the fuck out of her. And she listens to this podcast. I know she's going to listen to it and know that it's her that I was talking about. And I love her. I love her so much. But she was like, God, you're good. Yeah. And I'm like, I know how to do it.
I spent years honing this.
I've spent years. I've been doing hair for also 18, 19 years. And me saying that, I don't want it to come across like, oh, I've lied to people to get where I want to be. But I know how to manipulate. And it's a power that I have to keep to myself 90% of the time, because I know how to do it. I'm telling you right now, I know how to tell you exactly what you want to hear to get exactly what I want out of it. Exactly. It's a scary thing to have. The difference is, I'm self-aware of that. I'm talking about it openly on a podcast. I make no qualms about it. Like, I know that I have that power. You have that power too. You know how to do it too. A lot of us know how to do that because we know how to get what we want.
Because we had to.
We
know how to, and not necessarily even get what we want, but not get in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Not
to keep
get
ourselves
rejected,
from getting our ass
to be
beat.
safe. Yeah. And I think about, especially with you, there was a time where you had to genuinely not be who you were.
I had to lie. I had to spend my life lying and putting on. When I tell y'all I know how to chameleon, y'all have no idea I know how to chameleon. JC and I were talking about in that conversation. She said, you know the crazy thing? She said, we can literally put on a suit, tie, me in a ball gown, and go hang out with billionaires and talk the talk with them. And then we can the next day get in the truck, drive to Fort Worth, put on our boots and jeans, and hang out right with those same people. And they think that we own a ranch. They were like, she said, and JC, if she was sitting here today, which I'm hoping soon that we're able to get her on the podcast so you guys can literally get to hear her story and know who she is. JC's one and the same. I can guarantee you she was an anxious and avoidant person that's now worked into the secure individual. And we've had to lie. We've had to learn how to manipulate. We've had to do that to survive.
Like literally.
When it's literally turned you into it being the only way you've known how to survive, it also can be used as the most powerful thing in the world. It's scary. We know how to do that, but we're very aware that it can be a very negative thing. And anxious people need to get real with themselves and realize that it can be a very dangerous tool to use.
It can be.
Very, very dangerous, because you can manipulate people and hurt people very easily. You be so far into it that you're like, oh shit, I don't even know how to dig myself out of this.
Yeah. And if you haven't learned how to, turn it in that way, it usually means that you are just scared all the time. You are afraid you're in trouble. If anyone asks to talk to you, you're afraid you're in trouble. If anybody wants to see you
using that to manipulate. There's still a way to use that innocent child behavior to hurt people.
Absolutely.
And that's another thing too, even though you're not maybe even using it to gain power or to gain what you want out of a situation, if you're constantly using that meek mildness, I always think about people that you see this little fawn in the woods, and they're just so sweet and innocent, but then that fawn grows up to be a big powerful creature. Just understand that everything can be manipulated, and you crying and you pulling that crap and you doing that too is also a form of manipulation, a relationship, or in any type of relationship, whether it be with family, with friends, with your partner, with whoever. Just understand that you could still be manipulating people, and you not even realize it and be like, oh God, I do that when I'm not getting my way.
Yeah. That's what I was just about to say. If you recognize you're not getting your way and you become obsessive, you become jealous, you become tearful, you become poor me, whatever it is, it's manipulation. And it comes out of your anxiety. It comes out of it's a learned behavior that you have to unlearn, because maybe when you were getting in trouble as a kid, you could cry and get out of it. And so you learned, okay, I can cry and get out of this. I'm not good enough, but if I make them feel bad for me, then they'll stop. Or whatever it is, whatever you learned. It's that anxiety that creates you to not feel good enough and to feel like you're going to be rejected. So you try to do it's like you're falling off a cliff and you're just grasping at it and you're just trying to get a foothold. So whatever that looks like, the obsessive calling, the obsessive texting, or you completely withdraw and now you're just pouting and you're having whatever type of emotional fit you're throwing, like whatever emotional temper tantrum you are throwing, it's not healthy. And if you're obsessively calling someone and they're not answering you, then that's probably more healthy than you obsessively calling them. Now, it goes back to the story you told. Is there a level of reassurance that could be offered? Sure. Listen, babe, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not doing I'm here. I'm here. Here's a picture to show you that I'm here. Like, I think you're just really feeling insecure. I don't want you to feel that way. I'm here. I love you. We're good. And if they stop, they stop. If they don't, they don't. That's a whole other issue. Yeah. But it's about knowing that about yourself. And sometimes it's being self-aware enough to say, listen, I'm having a moment. I need you to give me a little reassurance. Because that's what I do that sometimes. Even though I'm pretty securely attached, I have my moments where I'm like, listen, I do trust you. I don't think anything's going on. I just need you to tell me that. Can you just use the words? Can you just tell me that? I just need to hear it. And that can soothe that part of me that I can't self-soothe, or I haven't been able to get rid of, because it's still there and it's strong and it's in there. So having that partner that can do that for you is great.
But you doing that is the secure side of you coming out and rising above that anxious side, with you admitting it and you saying it and you asking. That's the secure side. The opposite of that is someone staying in it and manipulating the situation to get what they want, not actually vocalizing and saying. Yeah. So that's where I do know that you have those anxious tendencies that will sometimes rise, but your secure side that is the forefront of who you are can at least admit it. And that is where that growth and all of that has come into play, and knowing that you have worked on yourself enough for us to be able to say, hey, I am so sorry, I'm having a moment. Yeah. That right there, number one, secureness coming out. Number two is saying, this is what I really need from you. Yeah. Number two, that's number two. Number three is, can you help me work through this. Correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. So those 3 things, those sentences there is you rising above that, moving into a level of growth and moving closer to being even a better, secure person. And here's what happens. When that partner starts to heal that side of you, guess what starts to leave? That anxious side. And guess what? We stop doing it. Yeah. Because the healing is starting to happen. That festering wound that's inside of us starts to callus over. And then the callus falls off and then there's just a little scar. And it's okay that scar is still there. But the healing side of that is actually starting to happen when we have a partner that can look at us and say, absolutely, I'm here for you. I love you. I care about you. Let's heal this together. The Band-Aid's been placed. The Neosporin's been put on.
Exactly.
And we're going to start healing this wound. And then guess what? That wound doesn't come back because we've healed it.
Right. No, that's a great way to put it. Like, you just have to work. And your partner, if they want to be your partner, they're going to know that about you. They're going to be like, okay,
you've talked about it already.
You know what? You're good. I got you. What words do you need today? Or whatever it is. I mean, they may make it some kind of joke. They may, mess
and don't take the joke as offense either.
They're not calling you damaged or broken. But that anxious person, if you're still in that anxious attachment, that's how you're going to hear it.
Yeah.
As you're broken, you're not good enough, you're not, and you're going to scramble to try to make yourself good enough. You're going to scramble to try to be what they need you to be, which is really inauthentic because you may not need to be what they want you to be.
Yeah.
Because you may not like that in the end. It may not turn out well for you when you become whoever you think they want you to be, just because you don't want to lose them, because you're scared of another relationship failing, because you feel like it's your fault or whatever it is. It's part of it. And that jealousy that comes in and that insecurity, all of those things, if someone is with you and they say they want to be with you, just believe them.
That's enough.
It's enough. And if you say that I get insecure in these times, I'm, and maybe you are a jealous person and that's a part of you want to work on. It's not your partner's fault that you feel jealousy. Now, if they're doing shady shit, that's a whole different story. We're not talking about these outliers where they actually are doing things to make you jealous or they actually are doing things that are inappropriate to your relationship, all of those things. I'm talking about a person who just goes out and maybe they're out at a bar and I've had this happen with friends. I've had this happen. People tell me these stories in therapy, whatever. They'll go out to a bar and maybe their partner goes up to get a drink, male or female, because this is not gender specific. They went to the bathroom or whatever. They come out and they're talking to someone of the opposite sex or the same sex, depending on the relationship, whatever. But they're talking to someone and it looks fun. It looks a little, they're hee-heeing a little bit and you automatically get jealous and you automatically think, oh my God, why are they talking to them? What is going on? Instead of okay, this person's talking to my partner who tends to talk to people. They're a friendly person. They're not going to be rude to someone that's talking to them. And you walk up and act all who's this? Why are you talking? You need to reel that in. That is not your partner's responsibility. If they have done things that make you jealous, if they have done things that put you in that position, first off, why are you with them?
Why are you with them and why are you out at the bar with them?
Why are you putting yourself in these situations that are going to be a fight? Nothing good comes from that. But, if there is no other reason other than your own insecurities and your own jealousies and your own issues you need to work on, don't put that on your partner. Because they're going to be like, what the... First off, it's embarrassing. Why are you acting like this? I've never done anything. Why were you talking to them?
It's a form of disrespect.
It is. And it's abusive. It really is abusive.
Manipulating. It's terrible.
Terrible. Come on.
It happens very often.
Now, if you walk out and they're making out with somebody, again, whole different situation.
Yeah.
But if they're just standing there talking to somebody that walked up beside them or is at the bar beside them, whatever. I mean, and maybe this person came across the room to talk to them. If you're secure in your relationship and in yourself, then okay, because if you can take my man, you can have him. He wasn't my man.
Yeah.
That's the way you look at it. If some girl, and don't be getting mad at these other people. And I'm tangenting here. I'm going on a side quest. But
I love it.
If you're somewhere and your person is talking to somebody else and they give them their number and they're hitting on them and they're doing all these things, don't get mad at that other person. That other person owes you nothing. It's not their responsibility to be protective of your relationship. It's your partner's responsibility to be protective of your relationship. These girls, these guys, these other people have nothing to do with you. Even if they know, even if they said, well, I have a girlfriend. Maybe they said, I have a girlfriend, but Here's my number. Okay, well, that opened the door for this other person. That's not on them to respect you.
Yeah.
Should we have some common courtesy for people and maybe, but it's not their responsibility. That's your partner's disrespect to you.
Yeah.
And you need to take it as such and don't let them talk their way out of it.
Yeah.
But again, that goes back to those attachments. Are you okay with this behavior because you feel like you're not good enough to get anybody else? Are you okay with the jealousy? Is this part of you? Do you enjoy being jealous? Some people do. Some people enjoy that. And it goes back to that toxic red flagness in yourself. Like, don't be that person.
Yeah.
Like, if you walk out there talking to somebody and be like, all right, and you walk up and you introduce yourself, or you just walk up and you put your arm around them, whatever it is, because that's your person. If they're going to be your person, they're going to be your person. And they're going to stand with you and protect your heart in any room they're in, whether you're there or not.
Yeah.
Being anxiously attached, being obsessive, being, calling all the time, texting all the time, doing the things, making them talk to you. Like, when they're out having fun with friends, if you're obsessively calling them, doing all those things, that's fun for no one, because you're just getting yourself wound up, for one. As someone who has been full in anxious attachment, all you're doing is upsetting yourself. If they're not answering, they're not answering you.
You're creating a narrative that does not exist.
Most likely does not even, it's not even real. Like, they're like, I didn't even have my phone, or, because sometimes when you go out with friends, if you're playing pool, if you're shooting darts, if you're just bullshitting, you're not going to have your phone in front of you.
Yeah. Half the time, I don't even know where my phone is when we go out.
It's in my purse.
Sometimes one of my friends, I get my phone back. My friends have taken 50,000 selfies in it. I'm like, oh, my Lord. I mean, I just don't. But I'm also the type, too. I'm a very communicative person before I go out.
Absolutely.
That I'm like, hey, we're going out. I'm going to be with JC and Lydia and Corin or whoever I'm with. And this is where we're going to be. I'm not going to have my phone around me. So just FYI, if you receive random text messages, it could be from JC. So just acting stupid.
Exactly.
So
it's about trusting yourself and being secure within yourself. If you do know that you are anxiously attached, you need to know your triggers. You need to know what situations or events trigger that, and let your partner know that.
Communicate it.
Listen, in my past, when my ex did this, XYZ would happen. I'm really scared of that. Do I think that's going to happen with you? No. I just want you to know that if you get a couple extra calls from me tonight, or you look down and you see that I've texted you quite a bit, please be patient with me. Shoot me a little response if you can, and let me know everything's okay, because that's just what I need, because in the past, these were bad situations for me. Yeah. And no, I don't think it's like that with you. I just may need a little extra reassurance. And hopefully you have a partner that's like, you got it, babe. Yeah. Like, I'll check in, when I can, and I'll give you a call if I can. If not, I'll shoot you a text, whatever it is.
So think of it this way, going back to the Band-Aid. Once that happens a couple of times, you won't need it.
Right.
Forever. Like, should not have to be a forever thing, because the person that is the anxious attachment style should start healing that childlike wound in them once again. And then it not be one of those things that's had to happen every freaking time. If you are in a relationship, you're the secure person in the relationship, and you're continuing to have this same thing with this anxious attachment person that you've constantly had to reassure every time you go out, then there needs to be a conversation had. I'm just telling you, I don't want to pull off a sore off of anyone right now that's probably in a relationship or in a marriage that you're still dealing with this. But if you are still dealing with this and your partner has not grown and you've done nothing wrong, you've done nothing to create any judgment on your end or anything like that, and they're still doing this, and it's been years or even a year or whatever, and you're starting to do that, then there needs to be a conversation in your house or in your relationship had, because I promise you that person is not working on themselves. This will be something that do you want to deal with for the rest of your relationship and life if you've not seen any growth, right? That it shouldn't be a forever thing. And if you're an anxious person listening to this and you continuously are doing this, I promise you right now, you count your days numbered with your partner. Absolutely. They're not going to stick around for this. That right there is absolutely inappropriate. There is a level of inappropriate. You need to work on yourself. You've got to work on yourself. If you truly want this person and you want it to be a forever, or you want it to be long term, then you've got to heal that wound that someone has caused, or whatever that however it existed or it has shown up in your life. Now, is it going to show up again? Yes, it's going to show up again. Even if there's like a year-long break of it and there's something that triggers you.
Right.
Communicate it with your partner. Hey, having a little bit of a weak moment. Can we talk about this? It is that simple. Number one, here we go back to the simple things. Number one, hey, babe, I'm having a weak moment. Can we please discuss this? If the partner's like, yeah, I mean, like, we've been so good. Here's an example. We've been so good. What's going on? Is there something that caused this? Yes, this is where I'm at. Communicate it and work on healing it back. Do what you need to do to move towards another level of growth in your relationship and for you as a person. I mean, because there could be a situation too that, as an example, you've gained a new friendship. This person, sometimes as an anxious person or an avoidant person or a fearful person, I'll be able to get it out in a second, y'all. There's a side of us that still attaches ourselves to friends that inhibit that same type. Because what happens is we trauma bond. So sometimes, and I'm going to say more often than not, that friend is going through something and that friend can trigger something in us and make us get right back into our own situation again. It's very healthy for us to avoid friendships like that. I'm so sorry. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but try to gain a friendship of someone that you know is healthier than you are. I know that sounds hard. I know that place sounds judgmental. And I don't care. If you want to see true growth, you try to be around people that are better than you are so that you try to level up to their goodness. And then that person usually is on it trying to already level up to an even greater goodness. And then it's just a chain reaction. If you go in reverse, and you go and you hang around someone, like I've said it before, if you go step in shit, typically you're going to smell like shit. If you go step in roses, you typically are going to smell like roses. Try not to step 1 foot in roses and 1 foot in shit, because typically the smell of shit's going to outweigh the smell of roses every time.
Yeah.
It's a pretty strong smell. So be very mindful that in this moment of growth for you as an anxious person, that you're being very mindful of the circles that you're standing in, because the circles that you're standing in could be holding you back of growing and you not even realizing it. You need to do that self-inventory that we've talked about before of, man, I'm kind of seeing some behavior patterns of my friends and they're not growing. And the thing is do you need to just fully cut them off? No, you don't have to do that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you should just step away from your friends and do that. But maybe you do need to step back a little bit and take some self-evaluation so that you're not going to continue on this path of being this anxious, avoidant, fearful person because your friends are. That is very common, to be honest with you. And of course, we've not went down that rabbit hole. I just thought of it while you were talking about that. But the people you surround yourself with every day or that you're talking to all the time can definitely affect that. And you becoming more self-aware, if you get, what do you call a butthole tingle? If you're in that self-aware moment and that friend kind of triggers something where it's like that little bit of like, that was a little weird. I know she said that before, or he said that before, but it feels different this time. It feels different this time. That your consciousness kicking in, trying to warn you that it's not healthy for you to be around. It's not healthy. Take it as that and sit in that and be like, okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to fear, okay, like that didn't feel the same. We've said these things before, but that didn't feel the same. Then it's because your self-awareness is starting to kick in and you're working on growing. This person just said something that kind of disconnected with that. Yeah. It was like an energy spark. Try to be very mindful of that so that your partner over here is not taking the blunt end blows of a friendship problem.
Right. When the board of directors is wrong, you gotta worry about that.
Exactly.
Because it is important. We do tend to have friends that have the same traits as us a lot of times. So if you're working on your attachment and you're working on being better and making better choices, but maybe like for me as someone who has some anxious tendencies, if I call a certain friend, they're going to spiral me down. Like if I'm saying, no, you know what? I know it's fine. Like I know that I'm blowing this out of proportion. I just needed to talk about it. They'll be like, well, what if they're not? What if they're lying about it? What if they're doing this? What if they're doing, what if, you need to, and they can really put you back in a place you don't want to be. Like it's so important to know your friends' attachment styles
Yeah.
So that you know, well, if this is going on, I don't need to talk to that friend, because their advice may be what they feel, but it's probably not the healthiest, because they don't have healthy relationships. They don't understand they don't understand what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to grow. It may be where they take the situation, I'm like, well, but this happened, and though it's not okay, I understand it. Like, well, what if they're lying about it? What if they made up that whole story? And and I'm like, my God. Like, I mean, I guess it's impossible, but the reality is I don't think they would. Like, it just, but if you talk to that friend enough, it can really infiltrate your mind, and you can really start going back down those negative patterns and those negative paths, because that is what you've known. And it's like, well, maybe then, like, gosh, you know, you raise some good points. When it's not good points.
It's not good points.
It's just more anxious attachment. It's just more jealousy and insecurity. But in a weak moment, in an emotional moment, it's real easy to go, oh, well, I hadn't even thought about that. Maybe you're right. When everything in you is like, no, that can't be true. That's not true. But what if it is? Yeah. And you let yourself go down. So it's important to know your friends' attachment styles and know what you want to confide in them and what advice you're seeking, because their advice may not be the best advice depending on their attachment styles, depending on what they've been through, depending on their current relationship status. And so it is really important to understand yourself and understand your partner and know who your partner is. And if you are an anxious person, you're with someone who makes you more anxious, just don't be with that person. I mean, you need to work on yourself, and you need to be secure, and you need to let go of those insecurities. You need to be okay being alone. You need to be okay with your own thoughts. You need to understand that you are worthy of all good things and happiness and love, no matter what you've done in your past, no matter where you came from, all of those things do not negate the fact that you are worthy of love and you're worthy of a good, healthy relationship. It's easy to not believe that when you have all this anxiety. So that is why it's so important to do the work to help yourself grow through that anxious attachment style.
It's a beautiful place to get out of.
Absolutely.
But also to still recognize it. Like, I still recognize traits in myself that I'm like, I absolutely still have those pieces of me sitting there, but that self-awareness is, it still arises, and it overcomes that, because I've been able to heal a lot of those wounds and move through that, and have very supportive people around me that also helped that. And it's just like Leslie said, everyone is worthy of love, and you have to get to that point. And even if you have to tell yourself every day, I am worthy of good, prosperous love. I'm worthy of all these things. Make that goal list of what you want to be. Stand strong in it and just revel in that. It is a beautiful place.
It really is.
Yeah. What's our next?
So our next attachment style is the avoidant.
Oh my gosh.
On that note, everyone, we are going to stop this episode. We are going to continue this conversation next week. So join us next week.
We will see you guys then.
Thank you for joining us on Hey Therapist. For my co-host, Riley DeWitt, I'm Leslie Ross. You can contact us on the website at heytherapist.com or on our socials at Hey Therapist Social. Hey Therapist is an SEOK radio production and is for your entertainment purposes only. Thank you for joining us. Make good choices.